Policymakers and educators often look to business to help improve, if not save, schools. But business leaders can be reluctant. A case study by Harvard Business School on the City Heights Partnership for Children in San Diego is one such example. Joining me is Tad Parson, Executive Director of the City Heights Partnership for Children. Tad, let's start with business education partnerships. I think a lot of people think that when these occur, it's just a bunch of businesses throwing a lot of money at education. But what other forms do these partnerships take?
Well, there are very robust partnerships that take place all over the country, and right here in San Diego, we've got some of the best partners in terms of organizations like Solar Turbines or Qualcomm are both very important partners in the education sector. And that can take the place anything from mentoring to internships to creating curricular relevance so that kids understand that what they're doing in school actually will lead to their future rather than just being hopeless and dropping out of school. So there's a wide range of very important roles for business to play.
And in City Heights, there are some challenges. 40% of the people who live there are foreign born.
Right.
The median income actually in City Heights is around $38,000 a year, and that's well below the around $61,000 a year for the rest of San Diego. I think most of the kids who attend local schools qualify for free or reduced lunches. So what is the goal of the City Heights Partnership for Children?
Well, that's for every child to graduate from high school prepared to be a participating, contributing member of our community. And we do that by tracking a number of other successes along the path of children's lives. Readiness for kindergarten. We know if they're not ready for kindergarten, they're less likely to be able to read proficiently by the third grade. We know if they can't do that, which is the next goal, that they're 50% less likely to graduate from high school, and we know that 75% of the people in the state penitentiary system are high school dropouts. So the math is easy to do. So we set our goals along those very important points in a young person's life and make sure that they are supported in every aspect of their lives. For example, we were able to coordinate an effort to make sure kids could see in school. We asked principals what was a major impediment that we could do something about almost immediately, and they all reminded us of that kid that you and I both knew in elementary school who was distracted in class and maybe a behavior problem. But the reason was not because they were a difficult child, but because they couldn't see. So 5,000 kids got vision screening and 500 got glasses who needed it, who probably never would have. And they got it without ever leaving school.
The Harvard study described basically a reluctance on the part of some businesses to join forces with educators. What was the skepticism? What was their skepticism based on?
Well, there's a long history of a culture divide between the education sector, the social sector, and the business sector. The outcomes are different. The way of approaching systematic problems is different. So that culture and language divide has created something of a rift where the trust isn't built, that each has the other's best interest at heart. So what we've done is broker that deal and gotten everybody aligned around a very common agenda where both business and the education and social sector need kids to come out of school prepared for college, prepared for career in order to meet the workforce demands of the region, in order to have an economic development strategy that's going to be effective long term. So once we started talking about it in terms that everyone understood and could agree on, so the education sector's needs were getting met and the business sector's needs were getting met, we started to break the ice there. And now we've got a deep partnership with the Economic Development Corporation, the Chamber of Commerce, and as I mentioned, Solar Turbines has been a very, very deep leader in everything we do.
Now, it's easy to understand why businesses would want a return on their time and their investment, and they want to see hardcore results. But is it difficult to produce those kinds of results in education within the time frame that people generally are seeking?
That's short answer, yes. It's very difficult. These things, number one, work at the speed of trust. Number two, this is a monumental task. This is a 10 to 15 year timeline. This is not going to happen overnight. And the staying power has got to be there. And that's the beauty of our partnership with United Way now that we've merged with United Way, because we have an institutional leader respected by all sectors with deep business relationships, deep relationships in the education and social sector, nonprofit sector, philanthropic sector, with staying power that's committed now to do this work, to be the project manager, to see it through to until we're done.
Ted Parson, thanks so much for coming on the program.
Thank you.